Welcome back, everybody. My name is Eltimar, and we are going to be continuing our Let's Play Pillars of Eternity. I need my blanket, my legs are cold. We're in Canada, so it's cold. Even in summer it's cold. I'm just kidding, my feet are just cold. Anyways, we are going to be heading into whatever is up here. It's that time of day where we approach the end of the game. Excited? I know I am. Super duper excited. Here we go. There's a lot of spirity things coming at us.
Another turn, Inquisitor.
Thaos signals to some unseen attendant standing beside a large crank. That's not a good sound.
I ask again, Iovara Exensios, do you confess to these heresies of which you stand accused?
He waits, but Iovara only stares straight ahead, her face stony, the creak of her restraints the only sound.
Do you confess to apostasy?
I confess to renouncing a mistake.
She opens her mouth to speak, strands of thin spittle spanning from one lip to the other like like a spider's threads.
Do you confess to conspiracy against the one true faith?
I confess to opening minds.
Do you confess to false prophecy?
I confess to following a false prophet.
Indeed. And where might we find this heretic?
Thaos pauses, his eyes narrow.
He wears the robes of a Grand Inquisitor.
Oh!
You have no followers here, heretic. Your lies hold no sway in the court of the penitents.
He got owned so badly there. Thaos purses his lips.
Only my truth, then.
Iovara seems to look directly at you. Which is me, I guess.
Another turn.
Thaos nods to the Inquisitor at the crank.
No! Wait! Wait! I'm ready. I'm ready.
You are ready to give a confession?
Thaos signals the Inquisitor to hold.
I'm ready to hear one from you.
Iovara gasps for breath, gathering up what little strength she has left to speak. Thaos shakes his head and points at the Inquisitor, and the scraping grinding of rusted gears echoes in your mind as the apparitions fade away. Grim. I have a feeling that this is going to be...
Exiled Queen. Let's hope that grim countenance bodes well.
We're going to go into the pit. Here we go. A great pit lies in the shadow of the statue of Wodaka. No light from the surface reaches the bottom, but even so you catch flickers of a ghostly glow in the depths. A wind from the pit buffets you. It isn't cold, but it raises goose flesh along your arms. The wind carries a whisper, low and sibilant. As you look into the pit, souls gather around you. They encase you in a cloud of essence that swirls around your body while you consider your next move. We're gonna jump. I did hit number 1, right? Okay. You jump, trusting in the promise of the gods and the power of the souls to bear you safely down. The sudden drop takes your breath away, but the souls catch you, encasing you in a shining, thrumming aura. But while they slow your descent, you can still feel that you are falling faster than you should. The essence flowing around you is strong but chaotic. You find yourself drifting towards the wall. I'm going to use athletics to flip, directing myself back to the center of the pit. You steer yourself to the safety of open space. You manage to spread your arms and legs into an X, steadying your position and the rate of your descent. You start to feel more comfortable until you notice Durance is still falling too fast. Durance plummets, flailing and out of control. You can attempt to rescue, but the ground is approaching fast. It would take a feat of speed and agility to avoid injury. I'll die for my companion. I'll command the souls holding my companion. Your soul reaches out towards the turbulent essence surrounding Durance. Through the incredible force of your will, you are able to organize and bolster the lost souls enough to slow your companion's fall. Durance reaches the bottom with a gentle thump. You reach the court of the penitents, millennia-old stones safely under your feet. We cannot get up at this point, by the way. We are officially stuck here, I'm pretty sure. I'm getting a lot of text. Hang on, I'm gonna turn off my phone. 1 second. Or at least put it on silence so that it's not
After
so
what
annoying.
seems like an eternity, your rapid descent comes to an abrupt end. You remain still for a moment while your heart settles and your eyes adjust, breathing in stale, forgotten air. Before you, a narrow and eroded walkway becomes faintly visible in the dim light, cutting a winding path through a cavern so expansive it seems a world unto itself. In the distance, you can make out the cold gleam of living Adra veins that spike and fork in and out of view from the murky depths beneath. Their glow a faint and fleeting guide along the ancient trail. You look above at the opening you jumped through, now barely a speck of light like some distant star alone in the cosmos and forever out of reach. Your only way lies ahead.
Here's my question. As is with most games that have similar things to this. Who built it?
That went better than I expected.
How did it get there?
Everyone all right? No shattered knees? Good. Just me, then.
That was bracing.
Nice and quiet.
No one wonders who built this thing? I wonder. A lot, actually. I really, really want to know who built this.
Something over there.
Oh, that's gonna suck. Alright. Everyone freeze. You're first.
That's settled.
What is
Oh,
it?
Connor wants to say something. Sorry.
We're so close to finding answers. I can feel it in my liver. Even the air smells different. There's a kind of weight here to the quiet. Don't you think? I'd call it portentous, only that seems silly. It's good to be on the road again.
Oh.
A wanderlust.
Thank you, Kana, for your brief insight there. It looks like there's a clear sky over Heritage Hill. I hope the districts can recover. There's a lot of history there, even more so now that you've saved it. Maybe they'll give you a plaque. This might do something for your reputation, you know. Not that you necessarily need it. I mean, I'm only pointing it out.
It's good to be on the road again.
Are you done talking, Kana?
Well-
Excellent. Alright, moving on.
I shall be quiet as a calm sea. Which is...
You're up first. I need you to find traps. This says... A millennium's worth of dust fills in the cracks and crevices of this skeletal relief. Same thing on this side, probably? Yep. Okay.
What is it?
We found the Soul Adra prison, apparently. That's what this place is called.
I haven't seen before.
You've never seen a chain lightning trap? Yes, you have. You have many of them. Spectres. Not that they're particularly hard, just moderately annoying.
Bring them down!
Just one spectre? Oh, there's more.
Light, flame, and
Just the one for the moment, though.
we'll keep to ourselves.
Bring them down!
Now the friends are coming. There are 4 at the very least.
Your tail ends here!
Oh, one's an Adra Animat, not a spectre.
Let's end
Actually,
this.
go kill that thing. I'd rather have the spectre dead than anything else. The Animat doesn't hit for anything, and it doesn't teleport. How did the spectre get to full life? Oh, probably the Animat healed it. That would make a whole lot of sense. Come on, shoot it. There you go. Fight is over. We're going to go up this hallway, I guess. Why not? I don't really know which way to go. First time in here and all that. That's another spectre. That's a lot of things. Right then. Not you. You. I want a fireball. Stat.
Following your...
This thing is...
Ooh, shadows. Come help with these. Although, I think Kana just hit one of the shadows for 60 damage in a single shot. It's pretty impressive.
Permit?
On your word.
Pelagina is so fast now. It's awesome. Okay, now where are we going?
Light.
What is the point of getting copper down here, honestly? This is another Soul Adra prison. A pillar... Sorry, the pillar tugs at your essence. A pulse from the world itself moves through it. It's kind of spooky.
Now this I haven't seen before.
What haven't you seen before? Oh. Oh, there's a trap there. Interesting. More Adra animats. Excellent. Good job disarming that trap. Well done, sir. I was kind of hoping this would be a smaller group of animats, but I guess not. It's gonna get healed. Oh yeah. Kill that one. Lots of damage reduction on them. But they don't do any damage to our tanks anymore. Maybe I should get construct slaying on her sword. I wonder if there's a construct slaying thing. They gotta be running out of heals by now. They only have one each. Yeah, I think that they're pretty well out at this point. None of their attacks do damage though. I guess like a couple damage a time, but I've only lost 6 health over the course of the fight, and I've healed up all the damage, all the endurance damage. I wonder what the point of this place is. It has a lot of Adra here, holding a lot of souls. This is the soul, these are the souls that I think they want to feed to Wadika to get her into power again. I wonder if she realizes the hypocrisy of being the god of justice and doing something so horribly unjust. Probably not. Those in power are rarely so clairvoyant in their hypocrisy. Alright.
As you wish.
Room cleared out. Nothing in here except this chest and an animat. And 2 animats. Don't let him heal. Just kill him. Yes. That was beautiful. No healing.
I shall be quiet
Is there
as
a trap
calm
on that
sea,
locked thing?
which is not
Nope.
a simple test.
There is some exceptional brigandine in there. Brigandine, whatever, however you pronounce that. I've always pronounced it brigandine, but it could be brigandine. Brigandine? I don't know. I just don't know. Another big chamber. Similar to the other ones. But with a cutscene, which makes it better than the other ones. A column of Adra rises above you, stoic and silent, its ridged layers a measuring stick for the passing of ages. It feels to you as a thick block of ice, and you perceive, buried deep in its core, a dim flickering flame, all but extinguished, yet preserved against the ravages of the elements. At your approach, the flame seems to steady and draw strength, and the layers separating it from you melt away, and you are bathed in its glow, a bright beacon in the gloom. The glow seems to fade, as though you had adjusted to its intensity, and where it was, Iovara seeps into existence, an idyllic shade hovering above the moist prison floor. Though ageless, she appears somewhat different to you now. A slight stoop to her carriage, perhaps, or a trace of sunkenness in her eyes. There was a broad scar across her face, fibrous and wormy where flames once lapped, unhealed even in death.
So my love returns to me at long last. You are so different now from who you were then, yet much remains the same. Old troubles with a new face. What is it that has brought you here?
I need answers, and you better give them to me, Ghost, or I'll find you a fate far worse than this.
I have had time to make my peace with all possible fates. There is little anyone could do to cause me distress now. But your threats are unnecessary. I will help you now as I have before. I can only guess your presence here has something to do with Thaos. The energy of this place changes when he is near. I don't know what he has done, but I do know of the souls that pass through here now. They do not come by choice.
Thaos diverted them from the cycle. He seeks to empower Wadika and to blame Animazi for the damage he has caused.
After all this time, he would still stand against the tide.
She shakes her head. You knew me when Thaos did. There's something I need to know about that time.
I will tell you what I remember.
There's something about that lifetime my soul can't let go of. I need to know what it is, and I'm running out of time. I see moments from that life of you, of the Inquisition, of Thaos.
I can see his influence, still hanging like a weight about your neck. So it always was. He had inspired something in you. We spoke of him the last time you were here also.
Are they gonna pull a Planescape Torment on me?
It was just after the trial. You were agitated. I think because you started to consider that what I was teaching may have been true.
And what was that? Iovara's mouth tightens and her brow furrows, a look of pity. Her eyes shift back and forth between each of yours, as if looking for something that would help her decide whether to speak.
That the gods aren't real.
She sighs. Pelagina throws her head back and laughs gleefully. Ha ha ha, of course not. It all makes sense now.
That can't be. We've been following them for thousands of years. If that's true...
He looks back to you for confirmation.
She's not serious.
Perhaps not to her. Many are those whom the gods have scorned. This is petty retribution.
But that's not... Is that the truth we've come for? That even the gods are false?
Kana gazes at Iovara, expression unreadable.
What I taught was that the gods whose faith we had been spreading were not gods at all, but something else entirely. Something created by people.
And who created these gods, and for what?
They were conceived by Engwith, a society of high minds and broad concerns. Thaos' people. In their time, every people worshipped its own gods. Sometimes they warred over it. After a few wars of their own, the Engwithans sought an end to it. They devoted all their energy to finding the true creators. Generation after generation, they prodded and worked the stitching of the world and unlocked its secrets. One day, they found an answer. Except the answer was no answer at all. There were no gods to be found. Or if there ever were, they were gone. It shook them, this finding. If they could discover this on their own, how long until others would? How long before war and chaos reigned over a world without consequence? But they had mastered many things in their pursuit of these answers. And with their mastery, they crafted their own gods to fill the void, and sent missionaries to the corners of the world to spread their faith.
And how did you discover this?
The Engwithan missionaries all knew it, but they never told the rest of us. They meant it to be a secret that died with them. And in the end, they allowed their bloodlines to fade from memory. I had been assigned to join a few of them at a temple. I found the door to their chambers closed, but the room was stone and the door thin. Their voices carried. I heard enough. I investigated the things they spoke of, and everything was there, just as they said it'd be.
Later on, after I left the Order, a few Engwithans found my words persuasive and joined my cause. They revealed what I did not already know. So this is why you started your own faith.
I never thought of it as faith, but I think you are right to call it that. Let the world see. Let them decide what to do. That was my faith. I became a missionary because the gods brought me hope that I wanted to bring to others. For a time, the truth sent me to a dark place. Then the day came when I realized nothing had changed, that I still had a purpose, and the purpose was the same and it was worth living for. I began questioning the other missionaries in public, exposing their parlor tricks. In time, their following became mine.
And is it true, what you taught?
You asked me this once before. Nothing I can say would be any proof, and it may be certainty your soul craves. Resolution. But if you are bound for the same place Thaos directs these souls, you will see for yourself, as you once did. Everyone faces this truth at one time or another. Few confront it. Few have the stomach to ask what if. And in avoiding the question, they deny themselves an identity of their own.
Iovara scans her audience in silence, her eyes thoughtful, lingering on each member of your company in turn, finding interest in things unseen.
What if all the tragedy, all the persecution, came in defense of an imposter?
But that's not... That can't be right. Aethys, he's done miracles for people.
The power of the gods is undeniable. The truth of the story they weave is not. What if it were forbidden knowledge rather than fault that earned your doom? What of your guilt?
She's addressing Durance at this point. She turns her attention to Durance.
I have seen with my own eyes the deceptions of my goddess. The Watcher has shown me as much. But it was not until now that I understood how truly desperate she was. The depths of her deception.
You speak of her deceptions, but what of your own? Was it her words that led you down your path? Or was it the absence of her words? A gap that you filled with your own broken thoughts.
Beads of sweat coalesce on Durance's forehead and trickle down the sides of his face in streaming rivulets, as though he were a block of ice standing before a great pyre.
What if you had always been alone, without guidance?
Her eyes settle on Aloth.
Then it's because I've managed to find my own direction. But how many can find purpose and satisfaction in the reality you offer? Would it comfort the grieving families to know that their children were hollow-born over a war of ideas? Would it quell the riots in Defiance Bay? However the gods were created, they exist now. That's what matters.
Aloth swallows, his jaw clenched. He scowls and shakes his head.
It is no offer of mine, this reality. It exists whether you accept it or not. And these things you speak of, these ills in need of a cure, ask yourself, if the gods had no influence, would these things exist at all? Or would the world be better off?
I like that first line. Facts are facts whether you believe in them or not.
If all our common threads are spun from a lie, what's left to bind us together?
She looks up at Kana Rua.
Don't look to me. Perhaps nothing binds us. Rauatai tears itself in two, clutching after truth. And I wish I could have sated my hunger for truth in the halls of the Lore College.
Kana shakes his head.
What if even mastery over all things cannot answer the most basic of questions?
She considers Pallegina. I stopped asking those questions long ago. Is it enough to care for those we love with the time we have in this life? It is enough, sorry. You feel the weight of Iovara's translucent eyes upon your soul. What if we can be assured of nothing? Then we had best build our own strength so that we can bear it.
It's the trials, Watcher, that make us what we are. Have I not always said so?
Yet strength is not given, but earned, and always in proportion to its cost. What will you sacrifice for yours, and who will pay the toll?
What?
I ask these things not to trouble you, but to show why they must be confronted. No answer is simple, but somewhere between them all lies a truth so beautiful, not even a god could conceive it. Do we not owe ourselves a chance to find our part in it?
We do. Even without assurances, there is still truth.
If that is truly what you believe, then you are a far different person than the one I knew. I've been alone here with my thoughts for so long now. I've found peace with my failures and with my punishment. I no longer curse fate for what might have been. But there is one thing that has clawed and scraped at my mind all these years. One thing that will not be put to rest until I know. Until I understand.
For the first time, hints of doubt trace her serene visage.
I need to know why you chose to remain with the Inquisition, even after you'd learned the truth. Do you remember?
As she asks, the memory springs to your mind immediately, as though it had just happened. I don't think I had a reason. No, I'm not gonna say that. I resented you.
I think maybe I suspected. I just didn't want to believe it. Not from you. When you showed up at my camp that day, I thought it would be like it had been before. I was careless. If you resented me then, I bear the blame.
Yeah, that's right.
Good. The things I taught, the things I believed, I needed to hear that. I needed to know it wasn't because...
Because I thought Thaos was right? I needed to know it wasn't because after everything you'd learned, you'd still rather believe in a lie. If that is the conclusion people reach once they know everything, then my purpose has been a mistake. Did my opinion matter so much to you?
Of all that I loved you for, it was your righteousness most of all. You had heard both sides, seen everything. If not you, then who?
You're never going to be able to convince everyone of anything, true or not. There will always be dissent.
I expected dissent. But I needed to know that true faith would prevail. Perhaps I've been wrong to place so much importance on one person's actions. It was all I could do to feel like there was an answer. Even knowing what you've told me, some part of me knows it doesn't truly answer what I wished to know. Nor will an eternity of silent contemplation. I will have only my guesses and suspicions, and that will have to do. And what of your understanding of our past? Are you at ease with the choice you made?
It wasn't me who made that choice. I bear no responsibility for it.
At first I thought this might be the source of your soul's anguish. But now I see I was mistaken. You are not divided on this matter. You have put it behind you. It is with Thaos that your agony lies, in sun and shadow. Your questions are not for me, but for him. And it may be that only an answer from the mouth of Thaos himself will satisfy your needs.
That could be the truth, yeah.
Yet if there is anything I can tell you that would be of use, ask and you shall know.
Are you bound here until the end of time?
In a matter of speaking. This is Breath Yamen, the court of the penitents. Souls are confined here until they repent. They must beg the forgiveness of a god, pledge their soul to them, and they will be lifted from this place to the world above. In truth, they receive leniency, but not true mercy. The spite of Woodica is eternal. They linger above, at the side of the old court, and are not permitted to leave the island, forever severed from the cycle. This prison was full once in the days of the Inquisition, but time weathers all things, even will. I'm the only tenant who remains. Yet, I feel their presence strongly now, as it was in the beginning. You have brought many of them here. They cry out for the judgment of Thaos. You have struck some bargain with the gods, then.
The other gods aid me because they want Thaos destroyed. I owe them no debt.
They aid you because they would bend you to their own purposes. Engwith built gods from ideals, and an ideal on its own is a grotesque and vicious thing. But these souls, these forgiven the gods have bequeathed you like chattel. They were loyal followers in life. They will be with you to the very end.
Why don't you repent? You could be free of this place.
Last time someone asked me that, I was bound to an iron wheel with a broken spine. There are many things I've come to doubt about the choices I made in life. But that trial was my one moment of certainty. Even without a chorus of gods to tell me I had been right. The gods need to be reminded that we have a spirit, and that spirit is proof against their power. They have the power to manipulate and confuse and ruin us, but not to change our will. I will remain here until the world crumbles and fades from existence with joy in my heart, knowing I've shown them what they truly are.
This place, sun and shadow, what is it? I could tell you what I believe, but again, it would be no proof. I have only what I have seen and what others have told me about it. There is only one man who can tell you now, who knows it to a certainty, and you shall face him soon enough. I will leave you to see it for yourself. Make your own judgments. Better for your soul that way, I think. How is it you speak Adiran? I speak no language now, but the wordless expression of the spirit. It is through my connection to you that I am able to draw upon your words and form them as my own. Do you know what it is I need from Thaos?
I could not say for sure. But you have been to Sun and Shadow before, and it came at a crossroads in your life, when much of what you knew had been upended. I have to believe it will come to you there. Your concerns then were of loyalty and trust and the gods. Everything I told you seemed to send you further into doubt. His words mattered to you when you knew him then. After you and I spoke, you went immediately to seek him out. Perhaps you simply sought confirmation from the man you trusted. If something from that time still troubles you, it may be something he told you then, or refused to tell you. He keeps secrets better than any in this world.
Why has Thaos done all this?
He cares only for the secret he keeps locked away. He destroys anyone who might discover it, no matter their chances. That's why he's always favored Woodica. It isn't in her love of promises or justice. It's her disregard for the rules. Her willingness to do what is necessary. To Thaos, she's not a deity, but an ally with which to conspire. When her power waxes, she does as she pleases with this realm, as well as hers. And she wants that secret guarded as much as he. If Thaos succeeds, there will be a shift in the balance of power among the gods. Woodica was vanquished once, when the other gods decided she had gone too far, and her power diminished. With this infusion, there is no telling what she will do. The only certainty is that there will be chaos in their realm, as well as ours.
How can I get Thaos to tell me what I need to know?
You will not find a more resolute being on all of Eora. There is no offer you could make, nor spell you could cast, nor pain you could inflict that would make him reveal what he hides. But I see you have become a watcher in this life. Perhaps in defeat, when he can no longer defend himself, you might learn something from him.
It's time for me to go.
Thaos will not wait for you. If you do not catch up to him now, you may never find him again.
The gods have given me the souls of their forgotten. If you repent, you could join with them. Help me strike the final blow against Thaos.
If I repent, all I have done has meant nothing.
If you hadn't planted doubt in my mind long ago, I'd be living a normal life right now. Before I go, I will repay you for this curse. You notice a bond now, one that has always been, an interleaving of her essence with yours at the extremities of your perception. You are tied to this woman's spirit, and you can feel a measure of control over it, as though you were its shepherd.
I never wished to bring you harm. I had thought that the truth would liberate you.
That's super cruel, but I'm going to extract you from this prison, send you back to the cycle, doom you to forget all you know. Perhaps one day, you will awaken and share the fate I face now.
Please. Even imprisoned here, at least I do not live in ignorance. At least my purpose was formed by truth. Do not make me give up all I have fought for.
Oh man, that is a super kind of evil. I don't know if I want to look as I press number 1 here. Extract Iovara's soul from her prison and purge it from the world. Goodbye, Iovara. Beneath you, you perceive an immense concentration of Adra. deep as the world itself, vivid and humming in your awareness, a channel that passes beyond Brith Amon and into the unbounded space between. You focus on Iovara, wrapping wisps of your essence around her like some smothering bestial claw. Now firmly in your grasp, you drag her soul downward, even as she tears at her surroundings, trying to grab a hold of anything that would allow her to resist the force you impose upon her. You draw her deep beneath the floor, toward the magnetic pull of the arterial adder beneath, until the pull is irresistible. Then, all at once, you release her soul, and she is gone. I don't like what we have become, guys. Oh, I feel so dirty now. I'm going to end the video here. We're at 35 minutes, so we're going to end here. Like always, if you guys have any suggestions or comments, please leave them below. Otherwise, I'll see you guys next time. We're going to continue towards the end of this game.